Hey everyone, hope you're enjoying the holidays. We're big fans of work-life balance, so today we're encouraging you to not think about your business. Instead, grab some eggnog and your earbuds, and we're going to share some of our favorite traditions from years of Christmas past. All right, Mark, would you rather have to loudly sing the chorus of Jingle Bells every time you walk into a room, or have Christmas tree tinsel for hair?
I think I'd take the Christmas tree tinsel for hair. I mean, first of all, that would be kind of cool. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, never get a haircut
Shiny,
again.
flowing.
It would be beautiful.
You know, you could have like gold and silver. It would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what would you prefer, Ben?
I would, man, I don't think I would have to do the Christmas tree tinsel. You know what I do? I would cheat. I would go for the Christmas tree tinsel and then cut it real short. So it wasn't like long tinsel hair, be like spiked, like metallic tinsel hair. So I could like wear a ball cap or something.
Oh, and you know, your hair already looks like tinsel.
Well, I think
you have that beautiful.
It is kind of that gray.
Beautiful silver hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm well on my way, actually. So it wouldn't be that much of a change.
Yeah, some short, spiky tinsel hair.
Exactly. Well, I'm excited to do this show. As hopefully you listeners can already tell, we're not really going to have a serious episode today. We just want to kind of hang out and celebrate, and you might get to know a little bit more about us. And we're just going to kind of talk about some of our fun things we've done in the past, some of our Christmas traditions that we have as families, memorable gifts we got as kids, favorite holiday treats, you know, some fun memories from working with our teams at, you know, the holidays and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be fun.
All that good stuff. But hey, listen, that's not going to stop us from asking you to subscribe to the show if you've been enjoying this podcast over the past year almost, and you haven't clicked that subscribe button. Maybe you're just popping in, listening to an episode and popping out. Well, now's the time. The gift of subscription is all we want for Christmas. So click that subscribe button. And if you're feeling really generous in the Christmas spirit, go ahead and leave us a review. You know, maybe one of those little 5-star gifts, and then a little mention about how the podcast has benefited you in your life. We would really love that. I mean, that's all I want for Christmas.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, I would be grateful 100%. Yeah. And also, if you're receiving our emails, we send out email every Friday morning to remind you about the new show that's out. If you are clicking through from those to our website to listen, go ahead and take the extra step and go ahead and click on one of the different platforms there, where you can open it up at Apple Podcasts instead of listening, you know, or through Spotify or whatever. Instead of listening directly through the website, it'll just be easier on you, and you'll get them delivered Friday mornings without even having to open up your email.
Boom. And speaking of email, if you want to be on our show, maybe ask us a question and get featured on our one of our episodes upcoming, go ahead and record us a voice memo and then email it to hello@thefridayhabit.com. Easy peasy, chicken cheesy.
Yep. All right, Mark, I've got more questions for you. So
I love questions.
Yeah, you've got answers. How about when you were a kid, do you have any things that you remember, not even like best gifts, but anything that you just remember getting for Christmas as a kid?
Yeah, I remember one Christmas I got a laser tag set. You know, this was the 90s, so laser tag was like all the rage. And it was like a pretty decent, like, you know, you had like the body armor deal with a receptor in it, and then these sweet guns that were like heavy and they could really blast some lasers. It was legit. And I just remember being so stoked when I opened that present. It was like one of the last presents too. You know, I think my grandma got it for me, and the house that I grew up in, you know, we were a big Italian family. So we'd go to my grandma's house. We'd sleep there for Christmas Eve and have this big Italian dinner, 7 fishes, mussels, calamari, the works. Uh-oh. I hear, you know what that means?
That's the Polar Express. Oh. We're just turning into like a morning zoo radio show at this point. That train whistle, it just keeps going. Yeah, for everybody who doesn't know, there's a train track right next to the knapsack office, and it interrupts every once in a while. And Mark's threatened to start playing music every time he hears the train whistle. I'm glad you followed through.
And it's even more fun to watch because you get a dance going. Listen, we're going to be launching a YouTube channel early this next year, so make sure you keep a lookout for that and join us over on YouTube so you can hang out and see our silly faces and enjoy all the shenanigans.
Yeah, you'll get to see those dance moves next time.
But so Christmas Eve, grandma's house, big Italian feasts. And then the next morning we would all wake up. My grandma would have some treats out, some coffee. And then we would go from youngest to oldest to open up presents. And so granted, you get to go first when you're younger, but then you got to wait for all these old people to open up their socks and their underwear and all this other crap. And
wait, so did you open all your presents? Like one person would open all of their presents, then go to the next person?
No. It was choose a gift and then open your gift, stand up, walk over to the person that got you the gift, give them a hug, thank them. And then the next person. I mean, this Christmas morning would take like 6 hours. It was like a big ordeal because if it's like all my aunts and uncles were there, cousins, all my, sister. I mean, so it was a big ordeal, which, you know what? There's something to be said about tradition, and there's something I think kind of special. As a kid, I looked at it as like, oh my gosh, come on. But as an adult looking back onto it, I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? That was really special. And it really drug out the whole Christmas, experience. We're eating snacks and just taking our time. Everyone's really like invested in each person as they're opening up their present. And so I don't know. I think it's kind of good.
I think that's cool.
But yeah, laser, all that long answer to say my laser tag set.
I got a couple. So I think that one's awesome. Okay. I never got a laser tag set, but these just popped into my head. A few of these I had completely forgotten about, but I remember getting my dad's mom, my grandma got me a like a Gigapet. Do you remember those? The little like keychains with like the little animal you take care of, and you have to like feed it every day or every couple hours or whatever and keep it alive and all that.
Yeah. On a keychain.
That kind of blew my mind. Yeah, because I didn't have any video games or anything like that. So I was the kid like going back home and like my video games were like Microsoft Paint. Like, oh, I'm going to go draw some cool stuff in Microsoft Paint. And I guess that's why I'm a designer now. So, hey, I can't complain. Yeah. But I didn't really have like video games or anything. So that was like, oh, this is like video games I can keep in my pocket. So simple, but that was fun. I remember getting like a electric train set, the classic one you see like going around the Christmas tree. That was super fun. And then like one of those race car sets, that have like the electric contacts on the bottom of the cars, and then you pull the trigger and the little steering wheel, you can like pass each other on it and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah.
Those were some ones that like just definitely stand out to me as very like Christmassy type of gifts that I just remember getting as a kid, and those were super fun.
Oh man, I love those little race car things. Yeah. You could race people and you just like spinning around this track at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, flying off the track, like cars flying everywhere.
Oh yeah. Those are super awesome.
So I was also thinking about like just things that from this past year or even years before, like any fun stories you might have from like working with people, in your team now or even at past companies. I know that I have some really fun pranks that like I used to have more time at work to do fun stuff. Now I'm just all about productivity, I guess. But back in the day, I used to like pull pranks on my coworkers more often and stuff like that. And now I've actually literally part of my company culture. I was talking to the team, you know what, team, we need to have more fun around here. We need to start playing more pranks on each other. Well, I'm like, what in the world? What kind of
be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly. I am scared because I've also revealed that one of my deepest fears is glitter. So now I'm kind of scared that like there's going to be like glitter dumped in my bag or something. But
did you get a card recently from your employees that like almost made you feel like there may be glitter in there, but it wasn't?
Yes, I thought it was going to be like a Mark Rober style like glitter bomb when I opened it. I was like, it said like on the front, it's like what rhymes with, what did it say? What rhymes with, I can't remember now. Well, the litter was the thing inside. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what? I can't even remember what else rhymes with glitter. I can't think of any words that rhyme with glitter. Sitter,
knitter.
It was none of those, but let's say it was knitter. What's rhymes with knitter? I opened it up, and then it said litter, and I had a picture of a cat with cat litter. I was so scared that I was going to open up this card and I was just going to explode glitter everywhere. I was like holding it open, like over like a table. I'm just like, glitter is just evil. Okay, you know what? Hey, I'm being a Grinch. This is Christmas. Glitter's great.
Come on, dude. And glitter is, it's Christmassy too. You know, glitter is like,
yeah, it is
fun and happy.
All right. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Anyways, so they were playing pranks on me with glitter. But what about you? Like, do you have anything that you remember from any pranks people played on you or anything like that?
Well, I mean, pranks. When I was in college, I didn't go to college, but I lived in a college town with roommates that went to college. So I just simplify that by saying back in college.
The college days, not the ones where you went to college, but where other people went to college.
Yeah, I lived in this house with like 6 guys, and we lived right off campus. And across, just like behind us, was like an apartment complex, and there's like a parking lot kind of separating our house from them. But we had friends that lived like on the top floor of this apartment complex that we could just, kind of walk over to, and they had this like outdoor like stairway that would go up into their apartment. And so we were really close with them. One of our roommates dated one of the girls in the house, and I had another buddy of mine who we were just good friends with them, and we would just, they had cable, so we would like walk over there and just let ourselves in and like watch TV, and they'd come home and see us like there, like, hey guys. But one time we unscrewed their shower heads and filled it with beef bouillon and beef bouillon cubes.
Oh man.
And then screwed them back on. We also we put a can of sardines in their microwave and like set the timer for like 30 minutes or something like that.
Oh, that's kind of messed up.
This is brutal pranks. But one time they pranked us. They boiled like, I don't know, like 10, 20 packs of noodles. And we had this, big upstairs with like all wood floors, and hundreds of noodles, like macaroni noodles, they dumped them, cooked noodles all over our floors upstairs, and it was just like a sea of cooked noodles in our upstairs like living area. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh! Did they just like stick to the floor and harden?
Yeah, and then it was just like coming home to that, you're like, what the heck? Like there's noodles everywhere.
That's not something you expect to hear screamed. There's noodles everywhere.
Exactly. So those are a few pranks. But as far as like the holidays go,
I mean, are there holiday pranks? I don't even know.
I know holiday pranks, but I think as far as like fun times at work, I've worked for companies that did really nice steak dinners, and essentially you had a really nice steak dinner and hung out with your coworkers and drank, and it was fun. One year, a long time ago, when I was working at Apple computers at the mall. I was working in a mall, and John Elway, who, if you don't know, he's a famous quarterback for the Denver Broncos, won 2 Super Bowls back to back. He's a champ. He came in, and he was going to a Christmas party, and I helped him, like pick out stuff. I mean, he was like, "Oh, give me 10 iPods, and get me like 5 of these headphones." Like he was just buying like thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and I was like, dang, I want to go to this Christmas party where like John Elway's handing out iPods to everybody.
It's like White Elephant, and it was like, oh, John, the gift limit was supposed to be $15.
Exactly.
I think I always try to brainstorm what's the worst possible White Elephant present you could get. Like, what would be like the worst thing you would want? It'd be, to me, the worst one I've ever thought of is This is horrible. Why am I even saying this? A dying goldfish, like a goldfish that's already like a sick, like you get it for a white elephant gift.
He's on his last legs.
It's inexpensive. You open it, it requires you to take care of it, and then at the end you're going to be sad. Like that's literally the worst white elephant gift you could get someone.
If he dies before the end of the gift exchange, you have to flush him. Merry Christmas.
That's horrible. Oh my gosh.
Wow, way to bring us down again, Ben.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, I was thinking about pranks and stuff. This really has nothing to do with Christmas, but I don't really care. The pranks are, I was thinking about the ones that we used to do, and I used to prank my coworkers. Pretty harmless stuff, but this one actually reminds me of something like Jim from the show The Office would do to Dwight or something. But there was one of my friends had Cheez-Its at work, and they would eat Cheez-Its pretty much every day, like as a snack. So I knew that he always had Cheez-Its. And so one day when I was at the store, I noticed they had the giant Cheez-Its, the ones that are like extra oversized Cheez-Its. So I bought a box of the oversized Cheez-Its. And then one day when he like went to use the bathroom or something, I opened up his cabinet, grabbed his Cheez-Its that were already opened, dumped out all his Cheez-Its, and then put in the oversized ones into his Cheez-It box. So then when he came back from lunch or from the bathroom, came back and was going to eat lunch, and he started opening up the box. He looks at him weird, like, what the heck? Like these weren't this big before. Like he was so confused. Like basically my pranks are usually making people think that they're crazy and question themselves. So like another one.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. Other one I used to do was change, like on a computer, you can change autocorrect to make it so when somebody like types a certain word, you can change in system preferences to replace that with another word. So I would like go in there, and like one guy on my team, his name was Zach, but he kept talking about how he hated it when his mom would call him Zachy, or his wife would jokingly call him Zachy. So I changed every time he would sign his signature or write the word Zach, it would just autocorrect to Zachy with a Y. So he would keep signing off his emails with Zachy. So yeah, I mean, okay, this is my last one.
Good, clean fun. Okay, last prank.
This is my last prank. We got to move on. My last one. This one's the most elaborate, and I don't even know why I did this, but we used to work at a university here in town, and on lunch break we would go walking around the track area, and in the track area they had like a pole vaulting team that would come and like pole vault, but they had like this warm-up CD for pole vaulting, and it was like in this CD player, and they would play it all the time. So one time when they weren't there, I went over to their CD player and looked in their CD player, and it was a burned CD that was like, I don't know, like season 20, 2015 mix or something like that. I was like, oh, what's this? So I was like, okay, we're going to take their burned CD, rip their entire CD onto our computer, and then I'm going to edit the first song on the CD halfway through the song to change to Never Gonna Give You Up, so basically Rickroll them. So I basically took, that was back when Rickrolling was a thing. So I edited the first song in their mix to go right into that. So, and then we burned it on the same type of CD, wrote it with the same handwriting, and then went back and put it back in the CD player. And so someday, we never saw it happen, but someday somebody went back there and started playing their music to warm up to. And they're like, what the heck is this music in here? And they're like, they have no idea what happened because it looks exactly like the real CD that they burned themselves and put in there. That will be a mystery for the rest of their life. They will never know what happened.
You're a hardcore pranker. That's like the prank where you don't even have to see it. You just can imagine, and it gives you the gratification years later.
I know. I don't know what's so fun about it. Basically, all my pranks make people think they're going crazy. So it's hilarious.
Oh, that's really good. Oh man, what about holiday treats? Do you have any delicious treats that you like during the Christmas season?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Ohio when I was really young, so we used to have something called Buckeyes. I don't know if that's a thing all around or just from like Ohio, with Ohio State Buckeyes and stuff and Buckeye trees. But we would make these like, it was like kind of like Reese's cups, so basically like peanut butter in the center, and you dip them in chocolate, and they look like a Buckeye nut, and those were the best.
A Buckeye nut?
Yeah. Or, I mean, they're nuts, right? Have you ever seen a Buckeye? You know what I'm talking about?
Is a Buckeye like a bull or like some sort of animal?
No, a Buckeye. No.
Okay, I'm confused.
It's a nut from a tree. It's called a Buckeye.
Oh.
It's like a walnut,
okay.
a Buckeye nut. Yeah.
Oh, okay. An almond.
Only Ohioans maybe would know about this, but
yeah, interesting.
But yes, we used to make those.
That sounds great. I like a few things. Molasses cookies, which usually come around, it's like around the holidays where you're eating some molasses cookies. And then there's these other things that you get from time to time. It's like a peanut butter chocolate like pile and has oats in it. Have you ever had those before?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's like oats.
Yep.
Peanut butter, and it's like they're kind of, maybe they're even like no bake, but they kind of like melt in your mouth, and the oats, and oh man, big fan of those. Delicious.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Or like my grandma used to make like those Rice Krispie treats, but then she would put like the caramel/chocolate coating on top. I think she used to call them, Scotcheroos, I think is what she called them. I never heard anybody else in the world call them that, but maybe I guess it must have been butterscotch and chocolate. That makes more sense. Or it'd be called caramel roos instead of Scotcheroos. I don't know. But those were good.
Those are delicious for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any I guess maybe we should wrap up and not keep people too long here, but do you have any favorite like Christmas traditions? It sounds like you had a great Christmas morning. Did you guys do anything else together?
Now that we have 3 kids, we try to instill like good traditions in them, remembering that when you're a kid, it's interesting. So that, like I told the story at the beginning about going to my grandma's house, that only took place for 3 years. Like from the time I was 10, I moved in with my dad when I was 10. And then it was like when I was 13. So it's interesting how impressionable I was in the sense of like, when I think of Christmas and the holidays as a kid, like those 3 years are what make all of my like really good memories,
Yeah.
and like feels of like the holidays. And so, thinking about my kids now, they're going to be 13, 10, and 8. And just doing certain things consistently every year. There's one thing we do as a tradition where we all put on our pajamas and we drive around and look at lights in the neighborhoods. And then in our pajamas, we go into Target and we shop. The kids shop for each other.
That's awesome.
And so people are looking at us all weird. I'm like in a whole flannel pajama set, like with snow boots on, and people are like, what is this guy doing in here? And we just great. Have a good time. Yeah. What about you guys? Do you have any traditions you do during the holidays?
Yeah, we Christmas Eve we'll sit around the fire and we'll drink eggnog and kind of hang out a little bit Christmas Eve, and that's really fun. We love eggnog. That's just something that goes way back from me and Hannah, even when we were dating. And so eggnog has always been like a favorite holiday thing for us. So we'll drink eggnog Christmas Eve, usually let the kids open like one of their presents Christmas Eve. And then one other thing we've done a few times, which I'm hoping to revive this year, is we used to go around for like some people, like families we knew that maybe didn't have as much money for Christmas, or their kids might not be getting much for Christmas, or, basically people that might be a little less fortunate or have less money. We would make a list of a few of those people, and then we would go out and buy them Christmas presents. And basically we would like secretly go up to their house and like deliver a mystery bag of presents and try to do it anonymously so they wouldn't figure out who it was from.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
We did that a few years. It's been a while since we've done it, but the kids are old enough now where I think they would really enjoy doing that. So we were talking the other day about it, and I was like, what should we call ourselves? Like, they're like, all right, we're going to call ourselves the Christmas Ninjas. So we're going to be the Christmas Ninjas, and we're going to sneak around to some of their friends' houses or people we know and drop off a few anonymous gifts at their door. So that should be fun.
That's cool. I like that. That sounds really sweet.
It should be fun. All right, Mark, what's our action item for our Christmas episode? Oh, wait, no, we're not trying to be productive.
There's no action item.
Okay.
Hey, you know what, everybody? Merry Christmas. Ben, Merry Christmas to you. Love you, dude.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thankful for you.
Yep. Dude, I can't believe I've been doing this for almost a year now. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I can't believe it myself. I feel like it's gone by so quickly. This year has just flown by, but there's just a lot to be thankful for, and a lot to look forward to this next year. Hey, if you've enjoyed the Friday Habit, if you've enjoyed listening to Ben and I yackle about all sorts of random things, why don't you go ahead and support us and head over to thefridayhabit.com. There you can actually find show notes for this episode, which there probably won't be. You can also find links to our websites and ways to get in touch at the bottom of the page. You can download the guide that this show is all about, that inspired the show. It's called the Friday Habit System. It's going to show you how to set aside one full day each week to dedicate working on your business instead of in your business.
Cool. Love it. Guys, everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, definitely subscribe, and also shoot us an email or send us a voice memo to hello@thefridayhabit.com.
That's right. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas. And as always, until next time, live every day like it's Friday.